And that's why it's getting hot, I can feel the heat. It's too cold, I can feel the street. I'm just trying to make it through the day, not in my head trying to feel the beat. I'm trying to feel the beat. I'm trying to feel the beat. I'm trying to feel the beat. You gotta feel the beat. I'm trying to feel the beat. I just wanna feel the beat. I'm trying to feel the beat.
Feel the beat. Over the last 72 hours, 271 people have fallen victim to gun violence in the United States. Is now a good time to talk about gun reform?
The George Croom Experience, presented by Ad Closure, the secret agent of top agents. Is your home being marketed or is it just listed? Tell your agent you want Ad Closure marketing to help sell your home faster.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the George Croom Experience. My name is George Croom. I'll be ushering you through the next 15 to 20 minutes. Today's going to be a little bit shorter because it's the holidays and I'm not trying to hold you here for too long, but I want you to digest what I'm spitting out. Sounded terrible, but I got you. Let's pay some bills. The George Croom Experience is presented by Ad Closure, the secret agent of top agents. Talk to your agent about adding Ad Closure marketing and sell your home a little quicker. Let's go, DCAP.
Why Lane Kiffin is allowed to be the runaway bride so often.
Lane Kiffin is an interesting case. And today, usually I have some nuanced view about sports. Today, I'm just going to talk about sports. I want to talk about sports. I'm thankful for the world of sports because sometimes it allows me to check out and just talk about sports. So today, I want to talk about Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin is allowed to be a runaway bride. So he's been a coach at a bunch of different schools: Tennessee, USC, Alabama, Florida Atlantic. He's been a coach at Ole Miss. And now he's being rumored to be leaving Ole Miss to go to Auburn. This week, he actually told all of his players, hey, he had a closed door meeting and said, hey, I'm not leaving. I'm staying here. You don't have to worry about that. I'm going to be your coach. But I have to ask, why do people like Lane Kiffin have to do that? Lane Kiffin has been a great coach. Lane Kiffin is allowed to make moves that are good for him and his family. So if he decides he wants to leave and go to Auburn, I think that's a fantastic thing. If I'm going to tell you that the QB we talked about yesterday, Hendon Hooker, can leave, if I'm going to tell you dudes who come into college can leave and go do their own thing, I can't look at a coach and say, hey, you can't leave. You're not allowed to go whenever you feel like it's going to advance your career. Would I be a little bit annoyed? Look, I got a kid right now. He's a really big kid. One day my kid might be an all-star linebacker. He might be a 6'10" power forward who can go play basketball somewhere. He might be a lot of things that colleges would want to come play for them. And if a coach walked into my house and said, hey, I want your kid to play for me, and then turned around and said, hey, I'm going to go coach somewhere else, and my kid already committed to that school, I'm not going to be mad. I'm going to look at my kid and say, that's life. You might go to an interview and super enjoy somebody who interviewed you and say, hey, I really want to work for that person, and then take that job. Well, that's the job you chose. You chose the job. You didn't choose the people at the job. You don't get to control the people around you. So if Lane Kiffin decides to leave, people should not be mad at that. He's a runaway bride. Got it. He might tell your school he's going to stay there and then he'll leave. Got it. But I'm telling you right now, we as a society should applaud a person like Lane Kiffin. We should applaud that because at the end of the day, that is what America was built off. The ability to have your free will and to exercise your free will however you saw fit, whenever you see fit, and to make things happen for yourself and your family whenever you see fit. Bring it in, Cap.
Sports has always had enforcers, but is Patrick Beverley the last of a dying breed?
So Patrick Beverley might just be the last of a dying breed. I say that because people like him, the dogs of any game that we look at, are leaving. Guys are really nice now. They're friends. They played AAU together, and I'm not opposed to that because we need things to evolve. I'm just telling you that we're losing the Patrick Beverleys of the world. Those guys are not as prevalent as they once were. NHL once had Dave Schultz. They had Terry O'Reilly. They had Marty McSorley. They had guys who were straight up dogs. I mean, we had Schultz, a guy who earned the nickname of the Hammer on a team that was called the Broad Street Bullies, in a place that was Broad Street bullyish, like Philadelphia. We had guys like Terry O'Reilly. O'Reilly once beat a guy down who took his teammates' stick after a game. He was the first Ron Artest. He ran up in the stands and beat this dude down. Dog. I mean, we have people like McSorley who were charged with taking care of players like the greatest ever. I believe that Wayne Gretzky is not the greatest player to ever play the game of hockey in our minds if we do not have a McSorley. A dog. A person who, when he got traded to the Kings, he said, I want that guy to go with me. Why? Because he's a dog. People know who the dogs are who are around them. Look at the NBA. Bill Laimbeer. Bill Laimbeer was a dude who, if Bill Laimbeer wasn't there, we don't have the nickname of the bad boys of the Pistons. Bill Laimbeer would clothesline you, would punch you, would knock you down just to get the win. A lot of those guys on that Pistons team were soft. Bill Laimbeer, dog. And because they had that dog, another dog that they had was Dennis Rodman. They also had that dog to go along with Bill Laimbeer later in those title runs. They had two of the greatest dogs on earth. Michael Jordan will tell you, Dennis Rodman was a lot of things, but I believe that Dennis Rodman being on the court at the end of Michael's career in Chicago extended his career, extended his championship runs. He needed a person like Dennis Rodman. I think Kobe, in a lot of ways, would have told you that Metta World Peace, or Ron Artest, as some people know him, extended his career in some ways. Dogs. Straight up dogs. Ted Hendricks in the NFL, a guy who was able to run his own plays by himself. He was able to blitz when he wanted to. They actually wanted to get rid of him at one point. They wanted to cut him. The coaching staff wanted to cut him. And the ownership said, no, this guy is a straight up beast. We need to keep him. And then we get to the ultimate dog of the NFL, Lawrence Taylor, and we don't even need to talk about that dude. Knocking heads off. Those dogs, those people who you could count on to be that guy when the chips were down and you needed somebody to go in, the last of a dying breed. So last night when Patrick Beverley went up and knocked down Joel Embiid because he stood over a bench player on the Lakers and looked at him after he fouled him, well, I'm not mad at that. People say, oh, he's wrong because he knocked him in the back. I got it. Stop being soft. If you want to stand over a person, expect to get blindsided. Because that's what your boys should do. That's what your dogs are there for.
Decorate your home for cheap this holiday season and have some family fun in the process. Next on the George Croom Experience.
G1 Commercial is a proud sponsor of the George Croom Experience. Stay tuned because more is coming up after this break.
What is an asset-based lending philosophy? An asset-based lending philosophy focuses on assets instead of income. Let me explain. A traditional mortgage requires the borrower to prove they make enough income to cover their mortgage payment and all other debts. The amount of your income used to pay your debt is limited to somewhere around 50%. This means that if your debt is greater than the maximum debt-to-income ratio, your loan is denied. An asset-based loan doesn't use your income to qualify. It uses the property securing the loan and its ability to generate cash flow or appreciation as the primary qualifier. In a nutshell, G1 Commercial Mortgage is a bank alternative mortgage finance company for real estate investors. If you get denied by a bank or do not want to go through the traditional bank underwriting process, give us a call.
I know you all are eating your cranberry sauce a day ahead of time. You're sneaking it. You're hoping grandma doesn't see you, and with the little chunk out the side when she pulls it out tomorrow because she's so excited because all of the people are there. She's going to notice. She's going to notice you took that chunk out of there. And guys like me are telling her. Here we go. So, holiday decorating for cheap, because you're all together with your family and you're all decorating. You should be decorating. I shouldn't say you're all decorating. You should be decorating because all of your family is there. Family decorating should be a thing. I say that because my mom and I used to decorate all the time. We fought while we did it, but we decorated together. And I wish for every family that they decorate together from now until the end of the world. So here's a few, three decorating tips for you when you go into this decorating season for the holidays, Christmas to be specific. So one thing that you can do is you can get fresh pine. Get fresh pine, and you can get that from your local Christmas tree lot, and you can get it for free. They'll give it to you for free. And I'm going to put up a picture of it, but it's a little stalk of pine, and you can use that. Put some bells around it, put some scarf around it, and that can be your decoration. That can be your wreath for this year on your door. Everybody in the family can do that together, and they can decorate and take it home, and everybody can have one that looks the same. Don't be mad because you and your family have the same looking thing. It's your family. You all look the same. You all actually aesthetically look the same. Why would you not want your door to look the same? That's ego. Let that go. Let your ego go this Christmas. So second thing is make a Christmas print for free off of a website. There's a lot of different websites that'll give you free things. You can make some Christmas prints. You can frame them, and then you can hang them up around your house. It's an awesome way of connecting you and your family to the holidays, and it'll make you feel way more holiday for way cheaper. Christmas prints that you got off the internet for free, because even if you quote unquote stole it and that's somebody else's work, you're not selling it. It's in your home. Don't tell anybody that George told you it's cool to pirate people's stuff. I'm not telling you that, but I'm telling you, if you want to steal something from me, quote unquote, take it. Because I'm willing to share that with you, because that's a whole part of holiday cheer. And if you're doing that to make you and your family happier, take it. If you see anything on my stuff that you want, have it. The other thing is cheap trees. So a lot of places like Walmart, Target, and other places sell cheap trees. You can get cheap garland to go along with it. Go on Amazon. Look up bulk garland. It can be scarves. It can be ribbon. It can be anything. Get a bunch of it. And you can decorate not only your tree, but your entire house for super cheap. This is something you and your family can do together. I'm super big on this because I talk about this later in my upcoming book that I have coming up. Shameless plug. And I'm telling you that me and my mom used to do this. We weren't very good at it. My mom would get mad at me every single year because I didn't lay the lace and the garland over the tree the way that she wanted it done. Now that I look back on it, it's hilarious because that's a memory we have. And she would get mad. We would end our decorating, but we always had a fantastic Christmas. We didn't have a lot. But what we didn't have, my mom would put it into holidays like Christmas because she didn't have those. My mom was a child of the South, couldn't buy gifts, didn't have gifts when she was growing up, and she put everything she had into Christmas and those holidays. I hate gift giving holidays because of it, but I also love her for instilling in me that some people don't have everything. And being able to give what you do have matters. We'll be right back.
Wait, bruh. Shouldn't every video your team puts out draw an emotion? Take the viewer on a journey. And highlight your markets as places they can live and call home.
Let me start by saying the George Croom experience will forever be a no judgment zone. Who you are is who you are. Be you at all costs and at all times. I talk about honesty, loyalty, friendships, and generational wealth on this show because those are principles I believe in and I want for you and the people around you. I don't feel threatened by other success. I'm emboldened by it. We tend to have a pessimistic view of the world. I want everyone to abandon pessimism and find a place within and without that makes them see the good. See the single mother on your block with 2 kids and multiple jobs as a superhero. See your supervisor that's a hard driver but happens to stay late despite having a newborn at home as being beast mode. We must start to draw inspiration from people around us that have qualities we don't currently possess. That's how we evolve. Looking at another being taking the same trip around the same sun as a marker, not a mark. It may be family, it may be friends, it may be a spouse, significant other. Whatever shape or form that person takes, see them as a beacon and be guided, not blinded. Be good to each other. I'll see you tomorrow.